If you don't need the money that day and you don't want counterparty risk, if you want self-sovereignty, you should buy the Bitcoin, the commodity. And if you, on the other hand, have a long time horizon, but you want to bet on the future of digital capital and digital credit in an amplified way, you buy the equity, the digital equity instrument. Now, lots of people have different views, and you have to see Bitcoin as one pole, one polarity, and credit as the other. People that want to be completely without counterparty risk and self-sovereign, they want the commodity. But on the other hand, in your life, you buy things all the time from corporations where you rely on the company to perform. When you get in an airplane, you trust the pilot to land the plane. When you buy an iPhone, you trust Apple not to turn off your iPhone. When you go to a dentist, you trust the dentist to not stop halfway through the operation. The world is full of examples. When you watch a Netflix series, you trust Netflix to let you finish the show. When you buy electricity, you trust the power company to keep pumping the electricity. In fact, I would say there's a lot of people that want unlimited free electricity. They do not want to install a nuclear reactor in their backyard. And so what's happened here is we have created a crypto reactor, and we're using it to create credit in order to serve a group of people that don't want to do this work themselves. They don't want to wait a decade before they actually monetize their investment. They want to consistently monetize the investment every month for 120 months in a row. Who would do that? A retiree, a 3-year-old, a 12-year-old, a conservative institution, a company that has lots of consistent bills, and if they don't make their payroll in 2 months, they get shut down. People that if they miss their bills, they go to jail, right? There are plenty of institutions and individuals and investors that can't stand, they can't take a long duration capital investment. For them, they need the credit. One serendipitous result we found while we were engaged in this was that if you finance the dividends from a credit instrument by monetizing an unrealized capital gain, you've created a return of capital dividend, and that's tax deferred. To the people backstage, the timer in front of me is not working, so I may very well go on forever if you don't turn the timer back on. Maybe they're being polite. That return of capital dividend's been around for more than 100 years. But it turns out that we were the company that figured out how to scale it by combining the credit instrument with digital capital. Now, how's it doing? This is Stretch recently. Stretch has grown from nothing to $8.5 billion in about 9 months. It's currently got $400 million almost of daily liquidity. Its volatility has fallen to 2.9%. The Sharpe ratio is the high 2s. It's 4x over collateralized. Here's another chart. This is hyper growth. How do you know that a product's working? Well, it's growing 350% a year. That's how fast it's growing. Like it's 100% month over month growth. So I don't know how long this will be in hyper growth, but right now this is the fastest growing credit instrument in the world, maybe in the decade or the century. Why is it growing so fast? Well, it's growing fast because it's ideal credit, because it was engineered to provide everything a credit investor would want if you look at it from the point of view of the investor, not from the point of view of the issuer. Right? Most credit investors, or most credit issuers want to create an instrument that's good for them, that's bad for the investor. We started with a blank sheet of paper using digital capital, then we used digital intelligence, and then we designed a credit instrument that's good for